Hello, it's Maggie. Today I want to talk about Mars, my ruler, and Scorpios as well. But Mars is going into Aries, and it's going to be there all the way through 2021. It will retrograde in Aries, so I'm looking for, well, I don't know, it's going to be a lot of Martian energy. So Mars will station in Aries 0 degrees on the 29th. So I'm looking at a double Aries chart, Aries Sun, Aries rising. Actually, I'm looking at my chart to see exactly when Mars stations. So it's really suppressed in Pisces, so everyone's been in isolation. And when it goes into Aries, we're going to have a lot more energy. It's really going to energize all the fire signs. It will be in sextile to the air signs, to Gemini and Aquarius, and in opposition to Libra. But it will be squaring. It will be squaring on Pluto. The Capricorn. That's just an ongoing square with Aries. All the cardinal points on the cardinal cross are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. So, that's how things get done. That's where all the action is, and that's where all the stress is as well. And it takes stress to sometimes it takes conflict and stress to take action. And so we're going to be seeing a lot more. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more revolt and revolution. Protesting, and because Mars, it's the god of war, and so it's going to be there 6 months. So people are going to be fighting for their independence, for liberation, for the colors are red and orange. So I tried to, I've just been immersed in this Norwalk astrology conference and just listening to all the replays. And one of them was great to this is Mars related. All this time, because I have no Earth in my chart, really, just Chiron and Capricorn. So I was trying to bring out Earth by wearing a black onyx ring. But it turns out, according to this lapidary astrologer, that's the opposite of what you should be doing. You should be wearing, your sun's colors or your Mars colors or your Venus. Try to bring out your Venus and your Jupiter. But to wear black onyx ring would be bringing out Saturn energy, which I guess I was using it to try to build structure. So anyway, off topic. But it will be squaring Saturn. It will be squaring Saturn, because Saturn's right on the cusp of Aquarius and Capricorn in very late degrees. So it will be squaring Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn. Like, just think of it in the midheaven, in the 10th house. So all kinds of revolt against authority figures, the racial injustice and police brutality and violence going on in our country, and protests, and bringing Colin Kaepernick back to football, getting somebody in the NFL to sign him, of course on his own merits. I'll have to try out, but he's a great football player who has been blackballed since 2016. So now now people are finally starting to get it, and so some people are asking the NFL to step up instead of throwing money at the problem, to, take action. And that would be good restitution, to let him try out and some team sign him. I mean, not just sign him to sign him, but, he's I think that's what they, in my opinion, should step up and do. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm talking about Mars, and the reason I brought up Kaepernick is because I've done his chart. I'm a 49er fan, and so he had a very strong Mars, which is why he's taken a stand, and that's what Aries do. That's what Mars does. It fights for a just cause. fights for the underdog. It fights injustice. It's a warrior. It's a pioneer. It's the first to step up, and so everyone is just. So it's going to be ongoing all the way through. Well, first of all, it goes in June 30th. It will go into Aries, back into Aries, and then it will go retrograde on September 10th. All in Aries, all the way through December, all the way through the end of the year, December of 2020, and all the way through January 6th, 2021. That is a lot of time in Aries. A lot of time in Aries. So, yeah. And generally, Mars is like a 6-week transit. So this is a big deal to have it spend all that time. So if you have a lot of planets in Aries, you can talk about it on the collective scale. We could see it on the collective scale, what is going on in our country. So that's only going to escalate. It's going to escalate, if no action is taken. And there'll be more and more, because Aries fights for independence and freedom and liberation and originality. They're very spark of creativity and inspiration. So, but it is the god of war. So, and it is going to be squaring Capricorn axis. It always is. It's squaring Cancer axis as well. It always is. So, yeah, I'm just looking at the transits for that day. For the 29th. So we'll have the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, and Neptune, of course, will remain in Pisces. But on that day, there's so much going on in Aries this year and next year. We're going to have this almost 6-month transit of Mars, the ruler, making it doubly aggressive. So kind of need to watch your temper and your nerves, your nervous system. I mean, you're going to be very, very high strung. So all the fire signs will be, and people in general. Yeah, a great way to take it out is physical exercise. And right now, my Mars is being suppressed in Pisces. So the other day I got really, really angry, but it was just this whole passive-aggressive thing going on that, yeah. So I ended up kind of pouting about it, which would be Mars in Pisces. You can't really express the anger, but it can also be reflected back to you, and that's what happened. And so anyway, Aries gets over things very, very fast, but they flare up just as fast. They flare up, and their anger can sometimes be frightening. So it depends where your Mars is. I kind of wanted to go around the wheel to see where your Mars is, and everybody has Aries somewhere, and they have Mars somewhere. So mine just happens to be on the first house in the Senate. So it's going to hit my Sun, my Mercury, and Jupiter for a long, long, long time. And it's going to set off all the squares. But let's see, yeah. So anyway, going around the wheel, if you have Mars in Taurus, it's your initiative. It makes you more aggressive, assertive. Okay, because it's leaving Pisces, we're going to get our assertiveness back and the initiative to get things done and stop procrastinating and putting them off. And I don't feel like it. I'll do it tomorrow. The whole quarantine, COVID lockdown. People are going to be getting into fights, I think, over a lot of different things. Racial tension will increase, but there's going to be a lot of fighters out there. So Mars in Taurus is generally about what you value, it's material assets, money, So what we value is totally changing. Right now, it's justice and freedom and equality. And so Mars and Taurus, watch out, because Taurus is ruled by Venus, so you may go on a massive spending spree. Be careful with your money. Yeah, so it'll affect, if you have a Venusian career, you could produce something, That's the time to take action and produce, say if you're a singer or a model or, something to do with the fashion designer, furniture salesman, not a lot of people are working in stores anymore. But with Uranus and Mars also in Taurus, it's really up for you, Taurus. Finding original, creative ways to make money. Most people are unemployed right now, so the thing has been to try to work independently if you can, because the old status quo is clearly broken. So that's what Uranus and Taurus is one of the things it's trying to teach us. So Mars in Gemini is just going to totally increase your communication with neighbors, siblings, cousins. Communication is just going to be off the hook for Geminis. It always is anyway. Mercury's your ruler, but you still have Venus in Gemini as of this recording, but Mars in Gemini is very aggressive, so it's going to be very impulsive. You're going to just blurt things out in a Martian way that, the dual side of Gemini, it's the other twin, can come out a lot and either piss people off or hurt their feelings or something. So your quick-witted wit is great, but just try to tame. Hard to tame Mars, but try to tame it if you can. Try not to get in trouble with your sharp tongue, I'd say. But enjoy all the socializing. It may be burnout for you, so again, watch your nervous system. You are an air sign, so your nervous system may be very fragile from overstimulation. Mars in Cancer is all about the home, home remodel, dealing with the family reunions are scheduled a lot. It's Cancer's birthday coming up in June. And so Mars in Cancer, a lot of people are having to move. I'm really praying that there aren't a lot of foreclosures, and so far, well, the governors have been telling people, not to evict people, but there could be a real problem with once Mars goes into Cancer. Well, it's in Aries, but if you have Mars in Cancer, it may be trying to find a new home or changing your living situation or a change to your family. Mars in Leo is very happy. It's a fire sign, so Mars in Leo, it rules the heart of children, creative ambition, creative self-expression. If you want to express yourself or start a creative project, or if you're real artsy crafty or not, whatever your art, whatever your expression is, it could be cooking, it could be whatever. You could just be really into your children, or but some form. Leo is creative self-expression on some form. It also is the fifth house of children, and it's ruled by the heart. So with Mars and Leo, it's going to be oh my God, Leos are so outgoing anyway, and gregarious and loud, and want to be the center of attention. So Mars is just going to bring them over the top for your Leo friends. Mars in Virgo, just take good care of your health. Again, Virgo could have a fragile nervous system because, well, they're an earth sign, but they're also ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is so quick. Virgo is so analytical, so it would make them overstimulate their mental abilities, and they may suffer from burnout. So a good way would be, to take more exercise, and a problem presents to get tested, or just to take care of your health and attention to details. If you want to work on some project or put together all the pieces, get a Virgo to do it, especially with Mars in Virgo. They'll get it done. Um, I would love to have a Mars in Virgo person help me. Help me. Actually, I have had a Virgo help me with a lot of stuff, so they're wonderful for organization. And anyway, moving on to Libra. Mars in Libra, it's going to oppose, if you have Mars in Libra or in the 7th house, it's the opposition is Aries. So the challenge is to, first of all, you want to try conflict resolution in relationships. You may be mirroring to people inner anger that may just kind of come out, or it could just be a mood. I mean, people can tell just by looking at your face, especially if you're an Aries. You can't hide your mood. You can't hide. You can't even hide what you're feeling. It's just, it's just, you are what you are. And so people see that, and, it's like predicting you're in a mood before you're even in a mood. It's like, what? I didn't even say anything. So with Libra, having Mars in Aries, or having Mars in Libra or the 7th house, it's going to mirror. It's mirroring the other. So it could be great sex in your relationships. Mars is also the ruler of Scorpio, but it could also be conflict. It could be starting a new relationship. It could be any of the Venusian careers, getting ahead in your career. Great. Not a career so much. It could just be an application. Maybe showing how to put makeup on your Twitter, or Instagram, or whatever. Doing a new dance. It could be putting a new dance up. So Mars in Scorpio, it's so freaking powerful for both Aries and Scorpio. It's almost like I need to temper it down a little bit. I personally do have my Mars in Scorpio, and being a double Aries, I know I'm going to have to put a lid on it sometimes, but at the same time, my energy will be back. You want. We need, Mars is vitality. Without your Mars, you don't have any vitality. And with Mars in Pisces, I don't know if anyone's had any vitality. So I think Pisces will definitely be glad to be rid of Mars, and be a little more chill and not have all this stuff coming up. Because it's hard for Pisces to assert anger, I think. Actually, it could come out in writing poetry. I did a poetry slam, kind of like a rap over a breakup, and just ripped into them. So that would be one way to use Mars in Pisces. But Mars in Scorpio is, you gotta watch your anger as well. But delving into metaphysical stuff, I mean, Scorpios are made for that. They absolutely love it. Tantric sex, just joint finances. You may come into an inheritance. You try not to fight over money. There could be money squabbles. Because again, Mars can be conflict, but it can also be initiative, ambition, vitality, the god of war. And you need it to, it's a vital life force. And so Scorpio is very happy to have Mars in Aries. Well, I think they both kind of claim it as, personally, I kind of get territorial about my Mars, but it's Scorpios too, you know. So it's actually in Aries, but it's not in Scorpio. I'm looking at my natal chart, I'm sorry, where Mars is in Scorpio. So regardless, they both share Mars, they have to share Mars. So it's going to make Scorpios feel good and stronger. It's going to make them like a double Scorpio. And with Aries, it's going to make them like a double or triple Aries. The same with Scorpios. It just adds a lot more power to an already powerful planet. Mars in Sagittarius, again, like Leo and Aries, it's going to really want to roam. Mars is going to want to roam. It's going to want to learn, have new adventures, travel. Even if, you know, it may not be international travel, but, you know, you could still, you're going to be restless and you're going to want to travel. It could be local. It could be communicating through law, a lot of international, with a lot of foreign people. And your whole belief systems may change, or you may be shoving your belief systems down someone's throat, which is happening a lot with the whole Gemini Sagittarius eclipse axis. People are just putting their beliefs out there willy-nilly. I never ever say that, and it cracks me up. My daughter said it sometimes. Oh, willy-nilly. And I heard at the conference somebody said it. It was kind of cute. But yeah, putting your beliefs and putting your very strong belief systems out there, and you know, there's so much divisiveness going on right now that you know, a lot of people don't want to read that, especially on social media. It's like, you know, like. I kind of started this with Colin Kaepernick. You know, I wasn't shoving that down anyone's throat, but that's my personal belief. And like I say, there's a lot of divisiveness going on in our country, certainly, and police brutality, and people are Mars in Sagittarius is also theology and very, very your philosophy of life and your belief system, and you know, adventure and travel and legal matters. So pay attention to those things, and at the same time, just beware of other people having a point of view other than yours because of the eclipses. The eclipse is happening in Gemini, and they're both mutable signs, both Gemini and Sagittarius. So they're, you know, changeable and adaptable, but at the same time, it's about a lot of chatter, a lot of talking, and putting your belief systems all over social media. So moving to Capricorn, where everything's been happening, we still have Pluto and Jupiter in Capricorn, and Jupiter will remain in Capricorn all through the year, through I think it's January 6th, something like that. Get some tea, sorry. Tea and honey. Is that one? Orange, jasmine, something. Anyway, Pluto, we're seeing the results of racial injustice and police brutality, and the elections are up, and so Jupiter is just expanding it, and people are coming out in droves and being supportive, and then at the same time, you know, Pluto is just the dark underbelly of politics and political, racial, social reform going on right now in our country. So, and all over the world. And so Jupiter is international. It's the ruler of Sagittarius. So we do appreciate all the countries standing up together against this terrible injustice, because it helps when we collectively stand up as a whole. And so Mars, oh God, Yeah, actually, if you have Mars in Capricorn, it's really tough. That's a very hard transit. The two so-called malefics, um, two or three would be Pluto, Saturn, and Mars, to stir up stuff, that's already been brewing. So Mars, Pluto, we could see a whole resurgence of, uh, hopefully not violence, and hopefully, but I think we will be seeing a lot more fighting actually, because of the square. Aries is totally squared Pluto, and Mars will be square Pluto and Jupiter. So Jupiter's expanding this problem and bringing it internationally to the whole world. So Capricorn, if Mars is, if you have Aries in the 10th house, in Capricorn's house, it will affect your career. You could just put yourself out there and start over, and it's also putting you in the public sector, already. I mean, we had this whole massive stellium that's just totally changed not only the whole world, a once in a lifetime thing, changing the whole world, but it's changing you as well. So you've really been hit with this, and to have Mars come and join Pluto, that's really tough. So just in the 10th house, it could be totally revolutionizing your career, how you present in the world. Yeah. Moving on to Aquarius, if you have Mars and Aries in the 11th house, I should be doing the houses, not the signs, but Aquarius, if you have Mars and Aries in the 11th sign, Aquarius's house. It's great for communication, for networking, for social media, for starting groups, for humanitarian endeavors, for space flight, we've got that going on. Exploration, science, new vaccines, hopefully, for COVID-19 are in the works. So Mars will hopefully, it's been said sometimes that some Aquarians are germaphobes. So I know that's kind of a random thing to throw out there, but yeah. So with Mars there, I don't know. I hope it doesn't make the pandemic any worse than it is, but that's a possibility. But at the same time, we have vaccines. So listening to Dr. Anthony Fauci is probably a very, very good idea. They're going to be so inventive, because it's a beautiful sextile between Aquarius and Aries, Mars and Aries. So if you have it in the 11th house, we're just seeing a whole renaissance of people interested in astrology that are coming either for the first time or have a lifetime study of it and interested in it. So it's got a long ways to go. It's not mainstream by any, but it's coming back. I mean, it's been around since the BC, but yeah, so you may have a renewed interest in maybe metaphysics or scientific thought. Certainly social media, you're going to be like the star of that. Mars in Pisces, you know what that feels like. It just left. It hasn't left as of now, of course, but any minute it's like everyone's going to come out of their houses, when Mars goes into Aries. So people that have still been and then there's going to be a big war about that, which there already is. Who's wearing masks, who's not wearing masks, who's, close, you know, a lot of the protesters are wearing masks. They totally are wearing masks. So, yeah. But with Mars in the 12th house, in Aries in the 12th house, yeah, it's not really at home in the 12th house, so it could escalate the COVID-19 pandemic. It could escalate it. So take care of your health, because the 6th from the 12th is Virgo. So Virgo, you know, Virgo Pisces, you know, you want to look at your opposition, and if you have planets there, you know, just check your health and check the opposition. And because Mars can be flare-ups, it can be infections, it can be high fevers, very, very high fevers, it can be headaches, migraines, nerves, high-strung energy. So try to take that out for the next 6 months or so, you know. Try to get it out physically before you take it out on somebody else, because Aries gets over it very fast. They may pout for a little while, but they get over it pretty fast. But not everyone else does. Like Cancer and the water signs, they need some time. They simmer. And especially Scorpio, they simmer and burn. They simmer and burn. Because my Mars in Scorpio, yeah, it can simmer and burn for a while. So it's just, you know, just beware of that. Beware of that, you know. Yeah, and so it's good to wear Mars colors. They're the best lectures, you know, from Nadia Shah, from, what's his, Austin, I forget his last name, but great lectures on working with the planets. I think Nadia Shah's was astrology and magic, you know, how to like talk to the different planets, or how to, and Austin's was, you know, started out talking about stones, wearing the, you know, colors, like the color of Mars is red. That's why this is, what is this? I got this in Morocco. It's a amber. It's amber, actually. But apparently that's a good color or stone to wear. Diamond is good. He says amethyst is good. Yeah, amethyst for a lot of those signs, but apparently wearing black onyx is not a really good idea right now. But if you want to bring out your Sun or your Mars or your Venus, you know, those are good. Or your Jupiter. Amethyst works for Jupiter too. So, yeah, but Aries is all about, sometimes you want to tone down your Aries, so, you know, or tone down your Scorpio. I see Scorpio all in black, you know, all in black. But they love maroon as well. And they look good in those colors. All the fire signs, as a rule. They could be ruddy complected, you know, if they get mad, their cheeks get red, or if they flush or they blush, you know, their cheeks could get red. Yeah, they just feel that rush of blood to the head. So anyway, I was talking about color, yeah, reds, maroons, just bring out the Mars. But if you want to tone it down, don't wear so much red. You know, I might have to back up off of red. Back up off of red, because if my stress levels are too high, you know, wearing red is only going to aggravate that. So, you know, you just kind of do it according to how you feel. So I've been on way too long about this. I did somehow make it through all the houses. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please like, subscribe, and share. If you would like your chart done, please contact me. Go to my website, Margaret Rosen Astrologer, astrology with a Y, margaretrosenastrology.com. And fill out the info, and I'd be happy to do your chart. You want to look at your transits, you want to do a compatibility chart. Always do a compatibility chart if you're going to be in a long-term relationship or get married, because you want to know where their Mars is. You know, you want to know how you're going to relate, what's going to set them off. So anyway, everyone take care, and yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting all the way from June 29th. Yeah, get my Mars back. And all the way through January 6, 2021. And that's going to be almost overkill. It's going to be overkill with the Mars. And by then, you know, there's going to be so much aggression everywhere that people need to chill. They need to fight. They need to fight. And just know, pick and choose your battles. Pick and choose your battles and learn how to be assertive with, I was going to say without being too aggressive, but you know, we need aggression. So I'm going to end this. Everybody, please take care. All right, bye.